Welcome to Murder.
And everything else.
My name is Joy.
And my name is Cheryl. And Joy and I are two old friends who are going to talk about murder and everything else.
Yay! Happy Sunday! Ooh, don't forget to turn off your camera.
Just didn't.
Holy shitballs. We are on fire. Hey guys, quick reminder, if you forgot to tell the kids to get out of the room, I already used the word shitballs. So you do need to tell the kids get out of the room. And also one other update or disclaimer, for those of you who saw Cheryl's birthday Instagram post, she is not 95 years old. Amber, I know you thought she was 95 and you were pleasantly surprised at how spry and in touch with things she was. However, she's not 95.
You know what? That's a good ruse. I should start going around saying I'm 95. Damn, you look good for your age.
Right?
That's what I would do. Mm-hmm.
Anywho, you wanna go into your highs and lows, Cheryl?
Yeah, I do. So my low is that I received a notification from the company I use for security safe identity theft safety
You
guarding.
have a company?
Yeah, it's like $11.99 a month, and it's great because they catch all this, affairs.
What do they do?
Well, so they sent me an email. They monitor. I don't know how they do it. This is what I pay them for. They got the big brains. They sent me an email and they said, "Hello, Cheryl. Cheryl, your email was part of a security breach. You know how Sony had that breach a few years ago where they got all these email addresses? Well, unfortunately, with that situation, they got their social security numbers too. So so they said, and I have it, whatever website. I don't know how this works. Anyway, they get they get a bunch of email addresses and some personal information, and it was just precautionary. They said, they just recommended I change all my passwords. Well, that little task took me 3 days to do.
Oh God.
Not 72 hours. It wasn't like a continuum. I'm not going to be that, dramatic about it. But it took me 3 days because I couldn't sit there for 10 hours straight and do you know how many passwords you have?
Oh God.
You don't know which ones they're going to try to hit. So I had to do every single little password.
Oh my God. What a nightmare.
Took me hours for 3 days.
I just leave my passwords the same. I don't change them. I figure you already hacked my system. You're expecting me to use a new password. I'm just going to keep the old one.
You're like, that's going to be my security method.
That's my ruse.
I'm going to do a psych on you, and I'm not going to change it. You're not going to expect that I'm not going to change it, so you're not going to get in. Wow.
That's
wow. Right. Well, I didn't want to test that theory, so I changed all my passwords, and you don't realize how many you have until you have to change them all.
But everybody uses the same one for all of them.
No, this is the problem. Aren't they all a slight variation? Like some places you need to use at least 8 characters. Some places now I'm seeing a lot more, like 12, 16 characters.
Yeah, and then you have to write it down in a book. So all that person has to do is get in your house and find that book.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I don't know. So because I was doing that for a while, same password, but the problem is, like I said, every place has a different requirement for their passwords, and so then you're doing just a slight version of it, like you're adding a 1 2 3 or an ABC, and then you can't remember where you added this or you didn't add it, or you used a capital or you didn't use a capital.
Okay, here's what you got to do. change all your passwords to password.
Yes. Well, this is what I'm saying. It's actually a good tactic, Joy, because people are not going to assume that you're going to do that,
Yeah.
right?
And then
So
what you do is for Banana Republic, just change it to password B. And for like Shutterfly, change it to password
for
S.
us,
And then like Netflix, change it to password N. And that way it's
oh
foolproof.
Lord, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Well, anywho, that took me about three. It took me 3 days. It was really annoying. But my high is that so I mentioned in the previous recording that it was my birthday and I was celebrating my birthday week. And
Happy
so
week after your birthday week.
thank you. And I got to tell you, it was a week of fun, fun, fun. And I had different, celebrations with different people. And it was so fun. Like,
Yay.
you should do that. You should make it over a period of time so it's not just one day because you're that age for the rest of the year, so there's no hurry to celebrate it on that particular day, right?
Right.
So yeah, I it was a really fun birthday. Of just like, one day I had a friend and her kid and brother over, and we swam and we ate and we played cards, and then just yesterday I went over to another friend's house for lunch, and they showered me with gifts, and it was just really great. So until the
That's
next one,
awesome.
yeah. So what's yours? What's your highlight?
Um, so my high is that I have a neighbor who has a pool, and both yesterday and today I went over to her house and sat outside, and then actually didn't swim. I just, when I would get really, really hot, I would just go and dip in the water, and her
Mm-hmm.
pool is really, really cool. And so it was just very refreshing. And I went by myself. And so that's my high. Cause, you know, I mean, I'm still kind of getting over whatever weird thing I had last week or week before last or whatever. I feel like I've been sick the whole month of July anyway. So,
Yeah, it
and
seems like
a
it.
week, yeah, and a week into August. So I yeah, it was just really, really nice to have a little quiet time and sit by the pool. So that was awesome. And then my low is because I've been sick and I was taking antibiotic, the doctor asked me, "Do you get yeast infections when you take antibiotics?" Because I guess that's a thing. And I very
Mhm.
quickly said no,
And then
because
you got one.
remember, they prescribed me the antibiotic, a steroid, a nose spray, and something else. I can't remember. But it was a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't want another thing. Well, guess what?
You got
For the
another
second
thing.
for the second time ever in my whole life, I got a yeast infection. And so and I'm the
That's fun.
and yeah, and I'm the kind of person that I'm like, I don't know what's happening until I'm wandering around town just like scratching at myself. And then I'm like, what's going on? Like, why? What, these pants are so itchy. And it turns out it's not the pants, it's the person wearing the pants. So anywho,
So now what do you take for that? I forgot. Thank God
um
it's been forever.
well, you can use Monistat, which is like a suppository, or you can buy this Vagisil cream. I mean, who comes up with these names? I swear
I
to
know.
God,
This is
I
true.
have never gone to the store and gone to the cream section and seen a cream that was called Peanut Pile or Peeny Weeny or Sloppy Peeny. I mean, or Greasy Peen or Peeny Greasy. I mean, what the fuck? Who comes up with the word Vagisil?
Hey, you know what comes to mind is your story about being in were you in Mexico and you had to get sanitary napkins.
In
Was it
Spain.
in Spain? And I wonder how you would have communicated that to the lady behind the counter
Oh
for Mondstadt.
God.
So, oh,
I
that would have been
don't
entertaining.
know.
It
Cause I
maybe,
didn't even because I didn't even know what it was at that time. I probably would have just gone in scratching myself and she would have called 911 or whatever the equivalent of 911 is in that country. My God.
oh my
Anyway,
God.
I gotta say that if
Being a woman
anybody,
is hard.
yeah, if
Oh,
anybody knows a topical wiener cream that has a really cool name that sounds funny or crazy, like Vagisil or Monistat, or
Mondstadt.
what's the other one? Gyne-Lotrimin, or I mean, if you know of a cool penis cream that has a really cool name, please email us and let us know because I am dying to know what the male equivalent of
There is,
Vagisil is.
yeah, there is none.
It's
Amy Schumer
it's
makes a funny joke in her
it's penis squeal.
penis squeal.
What's
Oh my
Amy
God.
Schumer's joke?
I can't remember what it is, but she makes a funny joke about that, about how we have all these things for women and they
Yeah.
have Viagra.
Well, yeah, I actually said that to the doctor cuz I I'm not going to get into that. I'll say that for my birthday episode.
All right.
Anyway, so those are my highs and lows.
Oh
Anyway,
man.
guys, guess what week this is?
Guess
This
everybody.
this is giveaway week 5 and the last week of our giveaway. And so I'm going to cover our terms and conditions and then Cheryl's going to read trivia question number 5. All right. You're going to notice a little difference in the trivia terms and conditions.
It's
Here's
been
how to
trimmed.
win. Yeah,
It's been trimmed a tiny
just
bit.
just go to Instagram and put the answer there or email us the answer. You don't have to like anything or post anything or tag anything.
Or
You
tell
don't
anyone.
have you don't have to leave any reviews anywhere. Just email us at murderandeverythingelse@gmail.com or go to our Instagram post and answer the question. And I don't care if 10 people respond, would probably send out 10 swag items. However, you have you have as many weeks as you like to answer this question. And you can answer as many times as you want. And if you want to win a mug for a friend or a family member, feel free to enter multiple times. Good luck and may the best listener win. Please
Oh,
allow however many weeks it takes for that shit to come to your house to happen. And also, once you get it, I don't care if you throw it against the wall. I don't care if you dump it in the trash. You're just going to get something if you enter. Okay, Cheryl, take it away.
oh my. Okay. Woo. Okay. This question comes from our episode titled Top 5 Movies, and it was uploaded on February 19th, 2023. What does Cheryl say she did twice? Horrifyingly twice. What does Cheryl say she did horrifyingly twice? Good luck, and may the best listener win. The fastest
That's
listener.
right.
All
That's
right.
right. All right. And just remember again, we've downgraded all of the terms and conditions.
That's
So
putting it mildly.
you could basically win by rolling over in bed. Okay? So if you know how to lay down and roll over,
And
you
use your
can
thumbs.
win. Yeah, you can win. Okay? Anywho, on that note, on that exciting positive note, this
Oh my
week
god.
we're going to take a detour off of murder and we're going to focus on the everything else part of our podcast. And I am going to talk a little bit about some good news.
Yeah,
I
we need
think
that. We need that.
we
Everybody
do.
needs that.
We do. I think sometimes we're obsessed with all of the bad news stories, how many people are abducted, about the lady who spent like 30 days running around in the airport bathrooms because she'd been sex trafficked and ran away, about the plane that malfunctioned and blah, 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 and the Karen that had to like get kicked off the plane, or what's happening with like number 45 and all of the indictments. But I feel like sometimes we need some good news stories.
Yeah,
So,
we often
so
need good.
I came up with four amazing stories that we need to hear right now. They are great feel good news stories. And the first one I'm going to start with is the headline reads Sam Kaplan, 72, graduates from a Georgia college with his 99-year-old mom cheering him on.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. The image of that is so incredible. Oh,
Right? So
72.
I, yeah, so cool.
Mhm.
So I just have to read. It says, the last time the septuagenarian had to hit the books for classes was in the 1960s. And I got to say, he's got a really nice white beard in the picture. His mom's in a wheelchair, and she's holding his diploma from Georgia something college. I can't read it. Anyway, oh, sorry, it says Georgia Gwinnett College. I don't know if it's Gwinnett or Gwinnett. So, anyway, the article says more than 50, and this is taken from the Today Show website, today.com. More than 50 years after graduating high school, a 72-year-old recently earned an undergraduate degree and turned his tassel. On May 11th, Sam Kaplan became the first of his 7 siblings to earn a bachelor's degree after receiving his diploma in cinema and media arts. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I was
Of all the degrees to get at the age of 72, he got a diploma in cinema and media arts from Georgia Gwinnett College in Lawrenceville, Georgia. According to NBC affiliate WWBT, Kaplan's 99-year-old mother cheered on her son from the crowd as he crossed the stage for his graduation ceremony. She is very excited, the new graduate remarked about his mother. She's
oh,
excited, happy, and proud.
can I ask you something, Joy?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Did you know that before you read this just now?
No, I did not. He said he said he was riding down the 316 and heard on the radio that Georgia Gwinnett College was offering a degree that involved script writing, he explained. My car seemed to have developed automatic steering, and I pulled off on Collins
Oh
Hill
my
Road,
god.
and 5 minutes later I was registering for the fall semester. By the way, that accent was a freebie. And I got to tell you, he ran a cleaning service
Oh god.
beforehand. He also worked for a telemarketing company. He worked as a taxi driver and in customer service for electronic wholesale distribution. So,
Oh my
you
god.
know,
You
I
know,
I think it's
I
I think it's
applaud
oh,
him.
and he's the father of 5.
That's a feat in itself for sure.
I know.
Yeah, I you know what? I cannot go back to college for anything. So, hats off to him. Oh,
That's
that's
kind of cool.
that's very cool. And his 90, that's really awesome that his mom was still around to see this. I mean,
Right?
99 years old. God, what are the chances? That's pretty incredible.
I think that's cool. He said that despite his maturity, jumping back into a classroom setting after so many decades wasn't necessarily like riding a bike. Uh,
Oh, you
wow.
might have to do the rest of this by yourself because
Right.
I
It's just
can't.
too good. It's good though. I think it's really good. Here's the thing. There's a lot of there's a lot of people who for whatever reason, my guess is he probably had to work to pay the bills. He couldn't afford to go to college, right? 5 kids. So good for him for going back. But I'm just curious what he's going to do
I was
with,
just gonna say, what is he gonna do with
like,
that degree?
I mean, if he's gonna do like me and sit around and watch Netflix, then good for him. But maybe he's gonna actually write scripts, and maybe he'll write like some kind of like award-winning script for a movie, right?
Yeah, yeah, you never know. You never
You
know.
never know.
Good for
Anywho, I
him.
I went back to school and finished my degree in 1990. I started in 1987 and I finished in 2019.
Well,
So I'm just here to tell any of our listeners, if you think that you are too old or too late or too poor or too whatever to go to school, you are not. You can find where there's a will, there's a way. And I have to tell you that I did not go to my graduating university in March, even though I was told by the department chair that be it would be a good idea because it would make me feel very like I had accomplished something. But I didn't want to put on a cap and gown and wander around in a hot empty field with a bunch of like 21-year-olds. That to me sounded like one big old migraine. But I will say that I feel so happy that I did it.
yeah,
And
you feel
I'm
accomplished, right?
glad, yeah, I'm glad I did it before my boobs are laying on the tops of my legs.
Well,
I'm just glad.
I like that how he says that in his maturity that he's still. I'm going to start using that word instead of old age. I'm going to start using mature. I'm very
Yeah,
mature. I just became a year more mature,
that's right.
maturer. But no, that's
Maturer.
pretty incredible. What motivated you to finish to graduate?
Well, I mean, I know we talked about this a little bit before. I only had 2 classes left. And by the time I got around to it, it ended up being 4 classes because I took so long to take all the math. So, I think I talked about this before too. I just felt like I was really bad at math and then I ended up being actually really good at it. So, I guess if you are old enough and you have the determination and you have the focus and the drive, you can actually be good at anything. I'll tell you, if I had majored in gymnastics, that would be something I could not go back and finish because I would have just been like falling all over. Could you imagine trying to wear a leotard and like where does everything go? And then like how are you going to keep it
Oh my
from
God.
riding up? I mean, thank God I majored in something like communications cuz it was a lot easier than, doing something like I don't know.
A handstand.
Yeah, I mean, ugh. So, yeah, I mean, but I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the learning process, and I actually, when I finished, I thought about maybe going to graduate school, but then I was like, "No, N-O." I was like,
Well,
"If
you never
if
know.
somebody paid for me to go to graduate school, I might do it, but if I had to pay for it, I'm not going."
Well, you could be a story on the Today Show when you're 72.
Yeah, I could.
72
I
year old North Carolinian woman,
Car Carolinian.
Carolinian woman graduates from gymnastics school.
That's right. Graduates with a degree in Pilates. All right. That is taking us into our feel good news story number 2. And the headline reads How an owner got her diamond ring back 13 years after flushing it down the toilet.
Oh,
Your
what are
favorite, your
yes.
favorite place.
Yes. Ooh, I would be like, you can keep that
It says
crap.
one man's discovery in the trash turned out to be a woman's treasured diamond. And this again is from the Today Show website. 13 years after it was flushed down a toilet, an anniversary gift was returned. At a Minnesota regional water treatment plant this past March, employees were shoveling through detritus, which
What's
is a
that?
nice word for shiticus, when they came across the long lost diamond ring of Mary Strand. According to NBC affiliate KR11, 13 years before the ring was found in the roughs of a waste plant, it was a 33rd wedding anniversary present given to Strand by her husband, Dave. Strand lost the ring one day when she was in the bathroom of her home. The ring slipped off her finger and into the shitter. It was swirling around. I truly dove for it and went down the drain, she explained. I was thinking, he'll never buy me another ring. I felt really bad because it was a gift. So, anyway, down the toilet it went. And then I guess they saw a sparkle of light in the stink poop.
What are they
And
doing? What is this procedure or what are they doing? What's the word again?
so your detritus, your sewage and your pee-pee water and your gray water that comes from your dishwasher, washing machine, sink, and sinks in the bathroom goes all to the water treatment plant. They treat it and you get it back. Hello?
Okay, no, I'm
Yeah, that's called recycling.
oh my.
So that's why a lot of people have additional filtration systems because they worry that maybe some of the recycling that happens at the plant and maybe that all the junk doesn't get cleaned out of the water.
Right? I
Right.
mean, so they were
Also,
pushing
some of
around some doo doo and then saw something
but
sparkle.
but what I don't under oh, so then they posted it. Listen to this. On social media, recently we found a ring at one of our regional wastewater treatment plants. This is a rare occurrence and we want to return the ring to its owner. Please contact us if you lost a wedding ring down the drain. And they put an email address and a phone number, and it said like a needle in a haystack. There was a little picture. And and
Like a needle in a shit.
they yeah, shit stack. They got hundreds of calls.
So how did they determine that this person truly owned it? Does it say?
They had two local jewelers examine all of the photos that people submitted claiming it was theirs, and they found one picture that was the match, and it was Strand, the woman.
Wow.
And she's going to have it reset and ready to wear for her 46-year anniversary with her husband. So let me ask you this. Do you have a wedding ring?
Yes.
Oh, you
Don't you?
do? Well, I don't have a diamond or anything like that, and I'll tell you that I have this $10 ring from a vendor on the beach in Mexico.
Mhm.
And my husband wore it for a while because he lost his ring, and then it got too tight for his finger, so he gave it to me. So now I wear it. And so I
Oh.
don't have like my proper wedding ring. The diamond got shattered or something. So we've often talked about getting new wedding bands, but it's like the ring doesn't mean we're married, you know? It's just
Hmm.
it's just jewelry.
Yeah. But it is kind of nice. I mean, if you guys go out and get something matching or something that I'm sorry. I'm kind of quiet because I'm still stuck in the image of the
Poop,
detritus. Yes,
detritus.
detritus. Like, I know that I sound really like high maintenance, but I'm just picturing my ring. If it was only my family's poop, it would be different, but it was strangers'
You're like Sally Albright. You think
waste.
you're low maintenance, but you're really the angel of death.
That's so funny. Kevin and I were talking about Sleepless in Seattle. Because I was telling him about Jodi Arias, and he said maybe we should talk about that. But I figure everybody knows that story, right, of her murdering Travis Alexander, and he was a Mormon, and all
I
this
don't
stuff.
know it.
Oh, really? Come on,
I
everybody
don't
knows.
know it.
Anywho, I said, yeah, remember Sleepless in Seattle when the little boy is trying to find a wife for him, and
Yep.
Tom Hanks goes, because he goes, what about Annie? Because Meg Ryan had written in, right, and he goes, I don't know anything about her, blah, blah, blah. Haven't you ever seen Fatal Attraction? And the kid goes, no, because you won't let me. And Tom Hanks goes, well, I have, and it scared me. It scared every man in America. I don't know why I just came up with that. Why? Oh, the Sally
I
Albright.
Yeah, the Sally
Well,
Albright
that's all I can
comment.
picture. Like, I don't know if I would want my. I'm sure it was sanitized.
You're you're still stuck on
Ooh,
the detritus.
I'm still stuck on the detritus. Did you ever
Okay,
million?
newsflash, people. The water that comes out of your sink and shower has been treated at a water treatment plant and is probably recycled poo water. All right, there. You heard it here first and last.
Did you ever see Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah,
Do you remember that scene where there's just this river of poop and the kid like falls in? Like
I don't
people
I
just
don't
squat
remember
over
it.
the side of the thing and they just oh my god. Okay, anyway.
Uh,
Then look at you've taken me down a path, a very
well,
bad
I have to
path.
tell you. So, roaring on to let's get away from the poop and talk about my
Yes, please.
story. My third story, and I have to tell you that this story made me so happy, and it is man lost at sea and rescued with his dog vows to sail again. Quote, I'll always be on the water, end quote.
Wow.
Tim Shattuck, 51, and his dog Bella spent 3 months drifting at sea after a storm wiped out the boat's electronics. They survived on rainwater and raw fish. And there's a
Wow.
picture of this guy. I got this one from the NBCnews.com website. It was an Australian sailor. He spent months drifting aimlessly in the Pacific Ocean, and while he doesn't have any high sea adventures planned now, he insists he'll never give up his pastime. He said he just loves nature and I will always be in the water. He was recovering in Manzanillo, Mexico. He has a shaggy beard and he appeared on land for the first time in 3 months and expressed his gratitude to the fisherman who found him and his dog.
What
Um, he said he was so grateful to be alive.
is there the story of
Yeah,
how he
so
came to be lost at sea?
yep. So he took off from La Paz, Mexico 3 months before the the 3 months journey. And 1 month into the trip, a storm struck his white catamaran, wiping out all of the electronics. And then it became deadly. First of all, because he didn't think that he would make it through the storm,
Mm.
and then he was trying to sail to French Polynesia. But after the storm, he had to figure out how to survive with him and his dog. So they caught rainwater and they caught fish and ate raw fish. He said he avoided sunburn by taking cover under his boat's canopy. He said he felt really good, but he was struggling. His health, he said, was bad for a while. He was pretty hungry, and he didn't think he'd make it through that one storm that wiped out his ability to communicate with the outside world. So they floated aimlessly in the Pacific for 2 months with no hope for survival before a crew of fishermen from Mexico came upon them. And also, a helicopter scouting on behalf of the tuna trawler for the Mexicans first spotted him, leading to their needle in a haystack discovery and rescue.
Wow.
It's amazing. The trawler
Two
fished them
months.
out of the water. Yeah.
2 or
He
3 months.
3 months. He said he couldn't have imagined enduring all he did without the support of his faithful dog. She's amazing, mate. He said, I mean, the dog is something else. I'm a bit biased, but yeah. Isn't that cute?
Oh, you know what? The dog. It's like a Tom. Oh, it's a Tom Hanks themed episode. But Tom
Castaway, Castaway.
Castaway. I love that movie. And Wilson. He made a
Yep,
companion out of the volleyball. I mean,
yep,
the that movie had you crying for a volleyball when it like floats away from him. Spoiler alert.
yep.
Um, so having Bella, that I'm sure it helped him stay
Oh,
alive.
yeah. He was 1,000 miles off the Mexican coast when they found him.
Do you know that's one of my beside my toilet nightmares? To be lost at sea is terrifying to me. Where you can't see land, that is just, I can't even imagine.
Right?
3 months, do you know how long that is? That is so long. I
That
would have
is a
given up hope.
long time.
I would have given up hope. I mean,
But would you still fish and
oh
try to
yeah, yeah,
catch
yeah.
water and stuff?
Yeah, but I think that I would feel like it was pretty bleak, you know what I mean? But yeah, if I had means to get fish and water, I would do it. I mean, I
They
wouldn't
said
lay
he
down
was
and die, but
pretty, yeah, they said he was pretty dehydrated, but my guess is because you never know when it's going to rain, and he probably had limited ability to contain the rainwater.
mhm,
So what he probably did was he probably went outside and just laid on his back on the catamaran, kept his mouth open when it rained, but he probably also rationed whatever water he had for him and his dog. Because again, even though they survived off of rainwater and fish, I don't imagine for a second that they had ample amounts of rainwater. So he probably rationed how much water he drank and how much water his dog drank, because you cannot drink ocean water. You will
no,
die.
you would get dehydrated. But that is incredible. That is such an incredible. It's like trying to picture myself bobbing on that boat with my dog. That
I know.
is just like the seconds just ticking by. 3 months?
Guys,
Wow.
if you have not seen the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks, which I think was probably made like in the early 2000s, you have to see it. It's one of those movies. So first of all, I read somewhere that he lost between 65 and 75 pounds for that movie. Now remember, Tom Hanks is a beast. He lost an equal amount of weight for the movie Philadelphia because he plays a guy with AIDS. He then um, stars in some other films, and then he turns around and again he loses a significant amount of weight to star in Forrest Gump because Forrest, remember, was very trim because remember he ran across the United States
Hmm.
multiple times. Then he's in some normal movies again at a normal weight, and then he turns around and at the beginning of Castaway, he is a robust size. He's not fat, but like his face is full and he's a normal sized guy, right?
Hmm.
And by normal, I shouldn't say normal. He was an average size man, like
Right.
neither large nor thin.
Hmm.
But imagine what losing 60 to 75 pounds does to your body.
Yeah.
And at the end of Castaway, so they had to stop filming for him to lose this weight because he plays multiple sizes in the movie. And then he loses this weight. Okay, I don't care I don't know what kind of trick photography or whatever there is out there. No one could have pretend like there was no stunt double. This is Tom Hanks at an emaciated, probably 125 to 135 pounds, wearing a little loincloth and long, shaggy hair. You know, he has type 2 diabetes. So it's no wonder because gaining and losing weight that
Yeah,
many
that
times
cannot be
for that
healthy.
many rules, that's not good for your body. So
Yeah.
let's put that out there. But secondly, just the ability and
The
the
discipline.
motivation
The
and the
discipline.
discipline,
Hmm.
yeah, to do that for a role.
Well,
But
I'll
it's
tell
not
you what,
just that.
if you
He
were gonna pay me millions and millions of dollars, I could lose 60 pounds too.
ah, really? So if a movie studio came and said, Cheryl, we'll
Yes.
give you $20
Yes.
million
Yes.
to lose 60 pounds to this role, you'd be like, done.
Done. What? $20 million?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
You wouldn't? Well, you're
I
already
don't,
thin
I
because
don't
you're
know. I'm not thin, but I don't think I could do it.
$20 million. I think
I
you're
don't,
getting.
I don't really care about $20 million.
Oh, I do.
It's not that. I don't want to put my body through that. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of crazy shit you put your body through. I don't know if I could do
Yeah.
it. Anyway, if you guys haven't seen Castaway, you need to go see it. And by the way, it's not one word, it's two words. It's cast away.
Away. And
And
you know,
so it really means something in
yeah,
the scope
exactly.
of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder if, like in the movie, this guy will never have sushi in his life.
Right? Oh my God.
Um,
I gotta tell you, I couldn't watch that plane crash scene for a long time
ooh, it's
because
brutal.
it's
It's
brutal.
it makes you feel like you are in that plane and
Yeah, it really
experiencing
does.
it. So wait,
Although
you would just
I don't know if
close
you've
your eyes
seen,
during that part? Or what do you mean? You didn't.
I would fast forward. I don't know if you have seen, but Idris Elba is in a new film called Hijack. Oh my
Mhm.
God, it looks so good. I don't care whether he's in a boat or he's on a helicopter or if he's in a flying zeppelin. I don't care if he has I don't care if he wears a face mask that like has, grimace on the front. I don't care if he wears a skinny suit or a fat suit. I don't care if he's a sumo wrestler. I don't care what he is in the movie, but I am there for it.
Did you see the one with the he and his two daughters are like terrorized by a lion or something? I couldn't even finish it. As
What?
hunky as he is, I was like, I am
A
out.
lion?
Yes, it's
I
on.
saw I saw this romance where he on Netflix where he has like 3 kids and his ex-wife's dating a drug dealer and she tries to take the kids away. I've watched that movie. It's the world's worst made movie.
And you still
The
watched it.
and I've watched it
Oh,
like
it's called.
14 times.
Oh God, you must really be a fan. It's called Beast, and it's on Amazon. And
Ooh, and then did you see the one with Kate Winslet where they have to the plane crashes? He's in a lot of plane crash movies, and they have to like climb the mountain, and then he gets attacked by a bear, and then they find this little cabin, and then they go in, they build a fire, and then there's all these bear rugs. Next thing you know, they're like taking each other's clothes off, and there's a lot of like fun stuff happening.
no, I haven't seen it, but I feel like I have, so now I don't have to see it. Um,
Well, I think that like
the
she's
mountain
married.
between us. The
Yeah, she's
mountain between.
married and he's married, but because it's such a stressful situation, they have to like take out all of their like carnal urges on each other. And I was there for I was like shoving the popcorn in my mouth, like I was like, I gotta rewind it. I missed something.
Oh my God. Like whenever Idris is on the screen, you like put it in slow mo, or you just keep pausing. Pause,
I'm all
pause, pause.
put it somewhere. So, roaring on to our fourth and final feel good story, good news story. This one, guys, is so good. I got a little sappy with this one. The headline reads Two teens who dated in the 1950s lost touch. They reignited their romance 63 years later. And this
Oh,
is from the CBS News website.
oh.
And it shows the picture. It says that two teenagers who were high school sweethearts in the 1950s broke up after a few years and didn't see each other until a little over a year ago. Now, Caroline Reeves and Eddie Lamb are newlyweds, sharing a love that is blossoming 63 years after they first met. We feel young again, said Reeves, who turns 82 on Thursday. When you're in your 80s, you don't have to grow old, she said. We keep our minds going and we're active and we have fun and laugh. and tease and cut up and just want to live as long and the best life we can. Isn't
Oh,
that sweet?
that's sweet. Now, did they marry and have families in between during those 60 something years? I'm sure they did.
Yep,
Hmm.
that's right. They
Outlived their
can
spouse,
you
probably.
believe that in 1956 Elvis Presley was on the jukebox and Dwight D. Eisenhower was in the White House?
Wow. That's when they.
That is just crazy.
That's so sweet. Does it say
So
how they got connected?
here's what happened. He had his sights set on joining the ROTC at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville and flying planes in the US Air Force, and it was her senior year in high school, and he couldn't find the words to say a proper goodbye, so he didn't. We pulled up in her driveway and I said, "May I kiss you?" And so I kissed her goodnight, then not knowing it was the last time I would kiss her for 65 years.
Oh.
He she said she opened the car door, got out, ran up the steps, slammed the door, and went upstairs and cried all night because she knew he was going to the military. She became Miss Nashville in 1959. 2 years later, in 1961, they married other people. And he went on to serve 21 years flying KC 135s in the US Air Force and she traveled the world as an interior designer, has been a magazine writer and wrote 3 novels. But
Wow.
in December 2021, his wife died, the mother of their 2 sons, from ALS. They'd been married 2 days shy of 60 years, and in Polly's final years, he was her caretaker. It just shows you his strength and how sweet and kind and gentle this man is and always has been. And after her marriage to Wallace ended in the 1980s, she married a man named George Kennedy who died in 2001. She wondered all the time over the course of her life how Lamb was, and he said he wondered also how she was doing. And
Oh.
in April of 2022, he was living in California and she was in Nashville. And all of a sudden something hit him and he said, I've got to call her. He called 9 times, tried 9 times before finally reaching her. He said after the second day it was comfortable, it was natural. By the third day, that third night, he told her he still loved her and she knew her life was changed. The next morning he calls and says, I apologize for being so forward that night. Oh, so cute.
Oh, how did he have her number after all that? Did they keep in touch during those years?
No, but he
Yes.
probably went online and found it. It doesn't say. But she said that this time when she went to pick him up at the airport in Nashville, she was in the driver's seat. They didn't get too far from the airport at first. He peeked his head into the car and she said he just took her breath away. I'd never seen anything like it in my entire life. So she got out of the parking lot, zoom, 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 went around the FedEx parking lot to the warehouse. It was closed because it was night. They had all these security lights. She got out and jumped around, and we hugged and kissed. And I remember looking up the security lights, and insects were swirling all around. So FedEx does deliver, she said, bursting out in laughter. Oh, isn't that sweet?
It's very sweet.
And after, at the age of 84, he popped the question. He planned to give her his mother's ring, but Reeves said it was too precious and should be saved for one of his grandchildren. So she wanted instead his high school class ring, and he put it on her finger. She called it
Oh.
miraculous that they found their love again. And we ask God all the time, why did you do this? And now we know to take care of each other.
Aw.
Aw, isn't that sweet?
That is so sweet.
The best
Oh
part of the
my
story is
gosh.
that she left Nashville and now she lives in California. So there you have it.
Oh, that is really, really
That
sweet.
is really sweet. And she has like a cute perm with red hair and he has this short, like, military haircut kind of for an older
Hmm.
person. But they're just adorable.
Oh, that's really cute. Oh, that's so nice that they're,
Isn't that a
They have
sweet story?
that they have a companion, and she was single from 2001 to 2022 because her husband died in
Yep.
2001. Wow. Wow.
Yep. Do you think they're still doing it?
Oh my gosh. That thought did pop up in my mind, but I wasn't gonna say
And
it.
why
But
did you say, oh my gosh, you totally went there?
because because I wasn't gonna ask it on the recording.
Wait, you want to hear a funny joke?
Wait, do you think they are?
Of course.
Really? Okay.
Of course.
Somebody's gonna break
I
a hip.
mean, well, I remember hearing this joke when I was younger. And it was like these 80-year-olds, and they were all sitting together. Like the ladies had like a little like luncheon or something. They were talking about it. And one of the ladies was like, "Are you guys?" Oh, one of the ladies had recently got married. And the other lady was like, "So what do you guys do? Like, are you still doing it?" And the other lady goes, "Oh yeah, but now that we're older, we have oral sex all the time." And what, Cheryl? And
Oh my god! I forgot we were recording.
For a 95-year-old, you are very expressive. And and the other lady goes, "Oh, really?" She goes, "What does that look like?" And the lady goes, "Well, we just sit across the room and we yell fuck at each other all night." And I just thought that was hilarious.
That is hilarious. Oh my god, that's good.
But I
Oh.
think your reaction was more hilarious. God. First, you're like, I thought you were going to throw up. And then you're all, what? I'm like, Jesus, Cheryl, why don't you tell us how you really feel about a couple of 80-year-olds having oral sex?
Oh my god. Okay, moving on. That was very sweet though.
Guys, if this podcast really takes off, especially after this episode, and we become like the mavens of the podcast world,
God.
and we do this for 30 years, we'll be able to tell you what oral sex is like in your 80s. So stick around.
Yeah, that to look forward to. Joy, I'd like to thank you.
Unsubscribing. Girl, I don't want your stupid merch. It's unsubscribe.
Thank you for. I first had the image of the detritus. What is it?
Right.
The sea of poop. I had that, and then it's replaced by 82-year-olds and their things.
And their things. Their bits. They're tiddlywinks. They're tiddlywinks. They take out their tiddlywinks and they play tiddlywinks.
Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, that's really great for them.
So anyway, guys, this episode is called Good News. So just think about like those great, if you're having a rough week and you're tired of reading about all the shit that goes down the news, just think you have all these wonderful news stories to look forward to. And on that note, I just have to say that even though we didn't talk about murder today, you know what's a crime?
What's that, Joy?
That we are out of tiddlywinks.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Don't complicate your day. All creativity, commentary, and opinions in this podcast belong to Cheryl and Joy. Music composed and mixed by Gabe McKeon. Logo and merch created and managed by Kevin Callan. Podcast editing and advertising by Joy McKeon. Legal representation provided by John Bojezek. Please like, subscribe, follow, and listen. You can listen to us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can find us on Instagram and YouTube, and you can email us at murderandeverythingelse@gmail.com.
Bye, fishes.